Welcome back to this very special edition of Newsmakers. My newsmaker, very special one at that, is Jane Fraser, CEO of Citigroup. We've just been speaking about Citi's own internal transformation and, of course, the geopolitical challenges. Jane, thank you very much for your patience and for staying on. Well, AI.
Yeah.
You did speak something about how that's making you in-source some of the technology work. But basically, how do you see AI playing out? Are we going to see more layoffs in economies?
So one of the most valuable pieces of advice I was given quite early on was think about AI in terms of how do you learn how to tell AI how to do your job better? How do you teach computers how to help you do your job? And that's one of the things that we have been doing, is not only looking top down at what are some of the scaled use cases we want to be doing, but we have unleashed AI tools on our people so they can be creative and they can show us different ways of how do they use AI and use it to augment their ability to do their job, as well as inventing new ways to use it that we never thought about. I find that practical and I find that exciting.
No, all that is fine. It certainly is practical,
Yeah.
and it's made some of my jobs as well easy.
Yeah.
I supervise what the computer writes or what ChatGPT writes.
Yes.
But separately, jobs is something which everyone's worried about. You had a lot of layoffs in Citi for other reasons. Would you say the period of layoffs is over, or technology can still create new redundancies?
Technology always means that we have to stay on our front foot of looking at how do we reskill and our people, how do we make sure that we're keeping them agile, how are they using technology for competitive advantage. That was true of ATM machines, that's been true of mobile phones and mobile telephony. It's now was machine learning, now AI. So I think this is just a skill set that every company and, frankly, every individual has to learn how to do. What's different this time is just the speed. Everyone is anticipating that the pace of this is going to be faster, and therefore there is an urgency of looking at how do we make sure that we're thinking about new jobs that are going to be created, how do we think about changing what people do so that they're not being replaced, but instead they're using AI to create more value. And that at the moment is certainly our philosophy within Citi, is AI being used to help our people serve our customers better, rethink how to do things more efficiently. And that's, again, part of the thinking we have. Unleash the tools for our people to use so that they can come up with new and creative ways to do it, rather than us telling them what to do.
Previous technologies like internet or Excel or mobile phones actually gave us more work. It increased productivity, but it also increased jobs. The world is still divided on AI. But as you say, it makes you more efficient. Now, one of the things that broke in the Financial Times is that, 1 trillion blunder of a clerk writing the wrong number in Citi. Of course, you all caught him. You all didn't let the money go out of the bank.
Yeah.
But do you think that these kinds of things get ironed out with AI? Is that one of the things that you will put into use?
One of the important pieces with AI is to make sure that it's not hallucinating. We have to make sure that we're very clear about what is the source of truth and what is truth in AI.
Yes.
So as with all technological developments, whether it is automating processes, whether it's putting new uses, think of eyeglasses and smart lenses, that will revolutionize eyewear. You can think of a thousand different ways that everything could well change and be reinvented. You need new controls to put in place, you need new ways of looking at things. All of these elements you've got to keep in mind and keep on your toes. You've got to be thinking ahead all the time. looking at risk management and playing defense, as well as looking at new opportunities.
Oh yes, AI may not be a guarantor of accuracies. It can also be hallucinations. That's a point well taken. But you know, a related point is the GCCs, you know, the global captive centers that have come to India. There's a bit of a fear that if there is a big evolution of AI, this migration of work to India may not come with the same speed. What may be the city experience? I think you all have a GCC here in Chennai, right?
We have one of our most important ones globally. We're in about 6 different cities here in India, have been for longer than I have been at the firm, of having critical capabilities. And those have really evolved and changed in the 20 years that I have been at the bank, from being more back office support into now we have some of our most leading edge critical capabilities that are being developed here in data, in AI. India is central to our firm's transformation. So just never underestimate the evolution that occurs. There are going to be entirely new jobs and new industries created by these technologies. Here will be a center.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My anxiety is that GCCs have been an important dollar earner for us, you know, foreign exchange earner. Is that trend in danger from a city point of view, and more generally? I
don't think the GCCs are going to be in danger as long as they continue to adapt and evolve. The benefit of this country is it has an extraordinary cadre of highly technical, hard-working and also creative individuals. That, to my mind, is where the competitive advantage lies, and that should give the country and everybody confidence that while it may change and evolve, that this will remain a core competency and India will remain a very critical destination. I am expecting to put more global roles here than I am in other centres because of that factor. It's the talent. I keep coming back to the people. It's the talent.
Okay. You've given me the headline. If there's work that our people can do. Just a word more on India. You know, we've developed a very good tech stack.
Yeah.
Do you see that being used? What's your own view of this UPI and other tech stacks that India has developed?
I was taken aback by the breathtaking speed with which the UPI was rolled out globally. I think it was one of those moments where the world was just taken aback. And just the opportunities that opens up to drive more efficiency, make India easier to do business with. But we see it ourselves with our mid-market clients here in India. It unleashed a whole wave of new companies in multiple different industries. And I think particularly for SMEs, the mid-market, it's been absolutely critical and helps support the growth that we're seeing. So it's not just the large names, but it is that body of SMEs, mid-market, that is so distinctive in India, and they've got competitive edge. Innovation is enormous. That has been a real game changer and took the world by surprise.
Yes, it continues to take us by surprise. The one thing that impresses, I don't know, if you travel through any Indian airport, there's something called a Digi Yatra, which does KYC, you know, like that from your own desktop. So hopefully we have not stopped on the tech front. We've just got started. 2 final quick questions. Would you worry that AI and such technological, cutting-edge technology may create bad loans? Because, you know, you're suddenly confronted with a new technology. As a banker, is that a worry?
As a banker, you always worry. It's my job to worry so that we can anticipate risks and support the economies and the clients that we're in with solutions. We have to play defense as well as offense with AI. combination on fraud, cyber, and money laundering, other areas, illicit finance, are things that we've got to play defense on. And we're certainly investing a lot of money in terms of what are tools, what are capabilities, so that we try and stay ahead of where these areas are going. I think everybody has to be vigilant. If you're making a payment yourself, what information are you making available? All of these as private individuals as well as companies, the vigilance is going to be critical because it's changing so quickly.
Oh, there's a separate vertical of cyber risk, of course. We
Yes.
won't have time for that. Just a final question.
Yeah.
What differentiates you in India from other foreign banks and other financial institutions?
Yeah. Well, we have the benefit of having been here for over 120 years. That does matter, but I think what it is the breadth and depth of our franchise. We have our investment bank, our corporate bank, our commercial bank. We have our sales and trading businesses. We have our services in custody, in cash management, etc. So that breadth and depth of capability is unmatched. And we can see that in terms of the role that we play very proudly, particularly in connecting India to the world to India, as well as supporting the wonderful entrepreneurship here.
Well, then there's one more last question. As a woman, what would your advice be to CEOs here in favor of flexible work hours?
Oh, I think we saw during COVID that flexibility can be a core competitive advantage for a company. There is no difference in terms of productivity that we've seen from our own people for those that are spending time working from home. And in many respects, we found it to be a competitive advantage. You still need people together. There's an enormous value of collaboration, but it doesn't need to be 100% one way or the other.
If you have convinced one more Indian CEO, that'll be a big service you would have done for us, especially for womankind. Thank you very much, Jane Fraser, for spending time with CNBC TV 18.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.